Hello, everyone. This is Halloween. I'm doing this on Halloween. Let's hope that this actually goes online. I have so many. Most likely, you guys have seen like at least 5 videos that's released, and everyone's like, "Oh God, will you stop? Will you stop? Oh my gosh!" Which I'm sorry for that, but they have to come out. They really have to get out of my, excuse me, files. I guess you want to call it. Let's call it files. I have to get them out of my files so I can actually have a bit more room and be less pressured saying, oh my gosh, I did so many of these and yet they're not. With that said, today I am doing the same thing I did with Frankenweenie, is the fact of who is to blame. This time this is centered around South Park's new episode, The Magic Bush. So, as everyone sees, basically in this whole entire episode, you had Cartman saying, I'm bailing you out, Butters. I'm bailing you out. I'm saving your butt. I'm covering your butt. So who is it really to blame here? Well, I guess if you really want to point fingers, it might be Butters because he said drone. And as soon as he said drone, but of course, Butters could have said no. And either way, we all know Eric Cartman. Chances are Eric Cartman can actually get his own way, which means he could have just stole the drone. Heck, if Butters actually just let it go, he most likely would just say, screw it, you guys can do whatever you want with the drone, I don't give a crap. And then basically when Mr. Stotch checked the garage, he'll notice that his drone is gone. Chances are maybe Eric Cartman's able to actually sneak back into their house, put the drone back on there. But on the other hand, let's say he's not able to do it. Let's say their doors are locked. So that means that basically you have a stolen drone and he's actually going to look for it. Given chances are if he starts going to look for it, Eric Cartman's going to try to sneak in, put the drone back in there, run back to his house, and then make sure it looks like nothing. So I don't know. Chances are, if it could happen, he could actually just pin Cartman. He could pin Cartman for this and said, "Screw you," because well, he doesn't want to get in trouble. So it's kind of crazy. And one thing I was thinking about is the fact of how it is. The fact that Eric Cartman in every single part of the episode, he was like, "I'll fix this. I can fix this." It's kind of like, wow, this so makes sense somehow. It so reminds me of some freaking episode or movie. And I was thinking about it, and one of the episodes has to be freaking Goosebumps. Be careful what you wish for. The fact that she made a wish, the wish was crappy as hell, and they had to fix it. And then gave you a new wish, she had to fix it after it got ruined. It's kind of like, yeah, it does kind of solve the problem, but the worst part is that it solves it for the worst condition ever, and most likely it makes you have to wish again, aka ask again / basically go to Eric Cartman, pin him, and he say, "Why in the world is wrong with you?" and all that stuff. He's like, "I can fix it. I can fix it." Oh yeah, another one that was like that. It was a South Park episode actually, wasn't there? Like for instance, the freaking, yeah, the BP drilling thing. The fact that he was like, I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this and stuff. I forgot. There was another one that actually was like that. And of course, I do have to mention Aladdin Return of Jafar because, well, he wished for something. The wish was very bad and then he had to wish it away. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's the request / the wish sucks. The fact that he has to be like, well, you did this, and then you're like, yes, okay, I can clean this up. It was very, very messed up. As for people, we all seen in the last part of the episode, the fact of he was like, well, Craig's mom is not so happy about this, and he's like, I can fix that, and he's like, oh, no, thank you. It's like, thank you? Not freaking thank you, because Butters could have just went out and said Eric took the freaking drone and he could just pin it on him because was Butters really involved with this? Not necessarily. Not necessarily at all. I mean, maybe he was involved with the first part of it, but the rest of it, that was all freaking Eric. All freaking Eric. Yeah, because who actually gave Eric the freaking drone, anyways? No, he picked it up. He picked it up and took it to his house. Yeah, so it's kind of like, chances are you can say it was technically stealing. Like, for instance, if someone breaks into your car, and while in front of you, breaks into your car, or heck, didn't even get your permission, and he has the keys, go into your car, start it up, drive away. Technically, without his permission, it is kind of stealing. So it brings to the point of, technically Eric could just get pinned for this whole entire thing, and Butters could actually be safe. Which, it's kind of weird that Butters has been restricted. We all seen throughout all the whole entire episodes of the whole entire series of South Park, Butters is very, very restricted. So it's kind of like, yeah. The other crazy part is, where is Butters' mom in all this? That is one good question. The other thing is Craig's father. Craig's father actually swears, I guess, quote unquote swears. And yeah, like Craig, basically in that episode, Craig versus Tweek, he always shows his middle finger to people. And I think, it was another episode that has Craig basically just flick up the middle finger out of nowhere. So it's kind of like, well, where was that when the drone was there? I think it would have been much better if he actually covers his wife and flicking the middle finger off at him while he's covering him. I mean, technically it makes sense, and it will add some continuity to things, technically. But yeah, with this whole whodunit thing, it's really Eric Cartman and not freaking Butters, because if Butters actually had his way, chances are he most likely would have closed the garage and Eric didn't even touch it. But of course, we all know how freaking Cartman is. Chances are, even though you say no, Eric Cartman will go in there, steal the freaking drone, and say yes. But I do have to admit, this is the most hilarious episode I've ever seen, along with technically disturbing. It's disturbing slash very, very enjoyable. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but Eric is definitely to blame on this. Eric is definitely to blame. So, everyone, happy Halloween, and for anyone who's like, Eric's not to blame, it was Butters, or it was Kenny. I'm like, okay, where's your evidence in that? Well, anyways, I'm out. Have a good day, happy Halloween, and remember, Eric did everything.